Carolina Insider is presented by Wells Fargo, official sponsor of Carolina Athletics.
Welcome back to the show. As I mentioned, a lot of great interviews here on the show this week. And by the way, you can see these interviews in full on the Go Heels social media channels, goheels.com, the YouTube page. You can hear these interviews in full if you don't have time to watch through the Carolina Insider podcast channel. That includes this upcoming interview with Lee Roberts, the 13th chancellor at the University of North Carolina. Adam Lucas and I had a chance to catch up with Chancellor Roberts earlier this week.
This is as volatile a time in college athletics as there has been. What can Carolina do to be ready for this volatile time and to be prepared for the future?
Obviously, an uncertain time in college athletics. I don't think anyone has really seen anything like it. And the challenge for us is that we can't keep doing things the same way that we've done historically. We have a phenomenal history and tradition in Tar Heel athletics, really unparalleled, I think, if you look across the country. And we're also competing at a higher level in more sports than really anybody else. When I talk about wanting to be number one nationally, head and shoulders the best, in athletics, in a lot of ways, we're already there. You have to look far and wide to find another athletics program that is fielding as many sports as successfully as we are. There's not a lot of places where winning multiple national championships in one academic year is considered normal, almost routine. So how do we stay tied to our best traditions while reacting effectively to these phenomenal changes that we see across the college athletics landscape? We have to continue to invest. We have to continue to raise our game, but we're starting from a position of remarkable strength.
Carolina athletics obviously gets talked about a lot and seems to be sort of this focal point of the college sports discussion now. What doesn't get talked about enough with Carolina athletics? What do you wish people were talking about more?
Well, I think we always wish people would give us more credit for the depth of our athletics program. When we have the opportunity to win our 4th national championship in women's lacrosse, our 23rd national championship in women's soccer with a first-time interim head coach, it almost becomes run-of-the-mill here in Chapel Hill. Most university athletic programs would give anything to have that kind of success, and it's become second nature here, and that's a good thing. But we shouldn't take it for granted. It's the result of our incredible coaching staff, remarkably hard work by all of our student athletes. That kind of continued success at the highest level doesn't come without an immense amount of hard work.
How do you keep that viable in an era when so much focus is on the financial reward, and the things you just mentioned don't have some of the financial rewards that other sports do?
Part of why we're investing so heavily in our football program. You know, football in the historic model has been able to support the cost of running most of these other sports. As the cost of running a football program has gone up with revenue share and other obligations, football can continue to support itself, but it's harder for football to support all of these other programs. And that's why we've been so focused on driving revenue, on finding new sponsorship and marketing opportunities. We've taken significant steps in that regard, bringing in Rick Bearcat as Chief Revenue Officer, Steve Newmark as the Deputy Associate Athletic Director, successor to Bubba Cunningham. Both of those guys have spent their careers driving revenue, maximizing revenue opportunities, and we and all of our peers are going to have to continue to be as aggressive and as creative as we possibly can on that front.
Can you take us maybe a little bit through Bill Belichick and why Coach Belichick ended up being the right choice for Carolina football, and what this experiment has been like understanding we haven't kicked the ball off yet, but what this experiment has been like in your relationship with Coach.
Well, I'd say in a lot of ways, the experiment, and I think that's the right word, has already been successful. If you just look at the excitement around Tar Heel football, I think you have to go back to the 1980 season.
That Bluebonnet Bowl.
And the Bluebonnet Bowl to match the level of enthusiasm that we see around Tar Heel football. You know the statistics about season ticket sales. We increased the prices by 25% and still sold them out earlier than we think we ever have. We also sold out all the single game tickets to Tar Heel football. It's been a long time since we did that before we played the first game. So Coach Belichick's arrival here, I think, has been tremendously successful so far. He's worked really hard to integrate himself into the life of the campus, the life of the Chapel Hill community.